Okay, so I'm supposed to go through with you um, how to develop an Android application using Java, the developmental environment that we'll be using to develop the Android applications using. Please, can you hear me? Just one person should let me know if you
Yes.
can hear me or not. Good. The
Yeah.
develop
Yes.
Yes, 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 we can.
Yes. We can.
the developmental environment that we'll be using to build these Android applications is the Android Studio. So we're going to be using the Android Studio to develop the applications. Because there is no time, because time is limited, we will be using the Java programming language as our base language to learn how to develop these Android applications. So we are going to be developing Android applications using the Java programming language. So this is what we're going to be using for the next few days in our meetings. And the first thing we are going to discuss, and it is a very important discussion, is how do we install the IDE? How do we install the environmental development area for um, the Android Studio? How do we develop? How do we install it? How do we set it up? It is, I have taught this course a lot. I have taught this course to a large group of students, to a small group of students. And you realize very quickly that when you are teaching this course, students do not know how to install the app. And as a technical person, as an IT person, installation of an app should not be your problem. So listen to the various things and steps very well because installation of an app is very important. First thing we need to do is we need to download the app. It is advisable you download the app fresh. So I would need you to go to your Google or your Bing or whatever editor that you use. And when you go there, I want you to click on Android Studio download. So you want to download the app, just click on Android Studio download, and that will present you with the window for you to download the app. You are to click on the download button, and it will present you with the window that will allow you to download the app. So you can see here, I have download Android Studio Koala. And here I can just click on this button for it to download. Now, the download of this software is it's around 600 megabytes or something. So it's very detailed. It makes sense that your internet service is very, very fast so that it can download very quickly for you. Unlike other softwares, when you are when you are done downloading and you set up, you are not done. Let me repeat. When you are done downloading and you set up, you are not done. So when I click here, it will install and then download into my downloads. And then when I'm done going into my downloads, I will click next, 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 and install it. After installing it, I will be presented with uh, uh, um, um, the I'll be presented with the new projects menu. So over here, I'll be presented with a menu that looks like this. And in this menu, I will just choose empty activity. So I'll choose empty view activity. Very simple. It's over here, empty view activity. And when I select that, I'll click on next, and then I'll come in here. I'll make sure that Java is selected. And then over here, I will type the title of my program. Note that the title must always start with a capital letter. So it means that whatever application I want to develop, the name of that application, I will type it here in capital letters. Let me repeat, in capital letters. Note that if you don't know the name of your project, later on you can change the name of your app. So the name you type here will be your name of your app. Later on, if I want to change the app name, I can do that. But when I'm starting out, whatever I type here should be in capital letters, very important. Over here, I'll just select Java. I'll select the version of Java I want to use. Note that the higher the version, the more people you cut off. You'll realize that some people will be there and then they will tell them that, oh, this phone cannot do WhatsApp anymore, or this phone cannot do something app anymore. It means that the operating system you are using is too low for that app to be used on it. So you can see that over here, I have various versions of Java. You can see that the higher I go, it means that a lot of people do not use that version of Android. Someone would have bought his phone 10 years ago. He orders who use it. That person does not have the latest Android, hence that person cannot use your app. So if you run your application for that person, you are not doing a good job. So you can see that here, if I go and leave my Nugget 7 and I go and choose Android 12, it tells me on the screen that 48.6% of the devices in this world right now are using the Android 12. That means if I develop my application and I push it forward, it means that the only people who can use my app if they are using an Android is only 48.6% of this world's population. So if I am selecting this, I must be mindful. There are other people too who would develop applications, and when you're developing your applications, you are developing the application for a particular organization. It makes sense that you go to that organization and ask them, what phones are your people going to use? So that when you are picking the choice of operating system that it will work with, you will know the correct choice of operating system to pick. Now, when you are done selecting all of these things, we'll talk about package names and things later. Over here, more importantly, let's talk about the save location. That is, where do I save my files? Technically, your file will be saved in a default location. It is here that we have a very big problem. Some of you are in this group here. When you got your new computer, when you bought your computer fresh, they asked you, what name do you want them to call your computer? And at that point, you were so happy. So you typed your name, Kofi John, and you gave a space that this is my PC. I have struggled, but you just bought a new computer. It is worth 8,000 Ghana cedis. You are so happy that you have bought a new computer. You are so proud of yourself. But you didn't know that you've made a big mistake. So if your computer, if you open your computer and you go into your Explorer like this, and you go and click on this PC, and you go and click on Drive C, and you click on Users, and then in here, you can see the name of my computer is MAKOF. This is the name of my computer. And this was created when the computer was being set up, when we finished formatting everything and it was being set up. This is the name I gave my computer. If the name of your computer has a space in it, let's say Mark space Mensa or John space Awuni or whatever it is, you can't use Android Studio. If your computer
Wow.
name has a space in it, you can't use Android Studio. Now, as an IT person, why you would even leave a space, I don't even understand. I don't even understand myself. Why you even bother yourself leaving a space? But that is neither here nor there. If you have this problem, you have two options. Option number one, format your computer. Option number two, go into accounts, go into settings. So you go into settings, and then inside the settings of your computer, right? In the settings of your computer, you would go and look for account, create another admin account, move all your things there, and then dissolve the account you have so that the new account name that is created will be one word. Then you can use Android Studio. Those of you who your computer is using 2 gig, if you're here and your computer is 2 gig, the Android Studio, you don't do it. Yes, because your computer will be so slow, you even regret even installing the Android Studio on your computer. You whose computer is 4 gig, you are better than the 2 gig, but you also suffer. 8 gig and above, that is what we are talking about. 8 gig and above. When you install the Android Studio, you will understand what I mean. Your computer, if it is not 8 gig and above, immediately you install the software, your computer will start being slow because it is a very huge software. It is a very intensive software. That is why I said, if I teach a class, if the class is 100, the people who can install the software are like 20. Do not let your class be one of them. You do not do that. You people should be unique. Now, if everything you have done is correct, then over here you see you have no errors, you have no mistakes, then you click on what? Finish. When you are done clicking on finish, the app would run and present to you like this. So over here you have something like this presenting on your screen. So it will run and this view would appear. For you, this will not come. For you, this screen here will not come. Now, this screen here will not come because the tools that require this thing to come, you do not have them. So, unlike other software, just the installation and you are done. I told you, with Android Studio, when you are done installing and you open, you need to do something else. And what is that thing you need to do? You need to go and look for the SDK manager. That is the developmental toolkit manager. So over here on the bar here, we can see that over here, somewhere here, we will have the SDK tool manager. One second. They've changed the location of the tool manager. So no problem. If it is not here, we can still find it in file and we can find the SDK tool manager. One second. It used to be here, but I just remember they removed it from here. So where did they put it? One second. I can find it in settings. Okay, good. So when I click settings, I should see the Android SDK manager in settings. Now, once I find the Android SDK tool manager, in here, I would see 3 very important tabs. I have the SDK platforms, I have the SDK tools, I have the SDK update sites. The update sites are sites in which bring things into your application. And once a while, if your computer is online, you'll be fine. So sometimes you will go and it will be red, red, red. Just give your computer some internet for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It will just come back and then you are fine. So that is the third tab. The second tab, everything here, go and install it. All you need to do is tick it. So if I tick it like this, then I'll click on apply and then I'll click on OK, and then it will install those things for me. The first tab you have over here, install, you don't have to install everything because if you install everything, it means that you are developing your application for every single operating system of Android you have over here, in which most of you will not. So let's install Android 14 and Android 14.0, the upside down cake. Let's install these two so that all our applications will be in Android 14 as the operating system. So make sure you install these things. If you do not do these things, your Android Studio will not work. Let me be frank. It won't come. You won't work. So doing of these things would enable your application to work. When you teach students, there is this thing about students whereby someone will wait for the day of the lecture or 15 minutes to the lecture, or when the teacher is coming, they say, oh, I'm a software and I'm installing it. Android Studio, you can't do that because you need around 20 gig, 2 gig, 3 gig of data to be able to do all of these things. Your computer must be online to install them. So if you don't take the time to install it well, it won't come. I have to be very honest with you. Those of you who your internet source is very poor and it is very slow, you will suffer because when it gets to a certain point, it will cut off and everything you have to start again. So make sure you get to a place that has stable internet, everything is fast, and then you install. Now, if you have been managed to install everything, when you open your application, you are greeted with this beautiful white place here, and then hello world. Before I continue, any question about the installation process? And you can see that I didn't just say go and install. You can see I went through the installation process, the things you will see, the things you will not see, because I understand some of you will suffer a bit in the installation process. But again, it is easy when you look at it from a certain point of view. Are we okay?
Prof.
Before I continue.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, I'm here. You were asking a question, so I was waiting for you to ask.
Say, I think we have seen everything that you've informed us seriously, and we can see it's a bit technical. So we'll plead with you to at least give us the guide or the slide, just to the steps that we can follow, especially where it is purely technical, so that when we are doing the installation, we can easily refer and then do the right thing.
Okay, but this one, there's no slide or anything. You just step by step. No problem.
Okay.
A step by step process for doing that. Basically, it's everything in which I said, but I'll give you a step by step guide. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Your line is breaking, so you type your question in the chat, then I'll read it for them and answer it for you. Okay? Your line is breaking, your connection is very poor. So just type your,
I have a question
in the chat. Yes. The person asking who's Gemini.
If you
Ask. Don't worry. I'm waiting on you. Ask. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, ask your question. I could hear it's breaking. Does the SDK need specific requirements? No, it does not. So in the SDK manager, the moment you, as I said, when you open yours, mine is installed, but when you open yours, you will see that all of these things here are unticked. So all you have to do is tick it. For the first side, that one, you don't have to tick all. I write applications in these specific OSs, so I have done all. You don't have to do all. Are we okay? And then secondly, for the second tab, the SDK tools tab, that one you don't have a choice. You need to install every single thing that is there. Everything there, install it. Is that clear? Is that clear? Great.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think that answers that question. And now that we know how to install the Android Studio, the next thing is, if I write an application, I have written a software. How do I showcase my software to the world? How do I showcase my software to the world? How do I test and know that, oh, the code I am writing, is it correct? Is it wrong? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? You know, those kind of things. Is it correct? Well, how do I do that? Now, it will not make sense that, let's say I am writing an application for a Samsung phone. And the application is supposed to be for Samsung. Right now, this is S what? S20, S2024 or whatever, which is there. Now, if I'm writing an application for that, does that mean that I have to go and spend 22,000 Ghana cedis to go and buy that phone so that I can just use it for testing? That does not make any sense. Do you understand? So I would need to have an emulator. The emulator will simulate that phone for me, so that when I write the application for that phone, when someone takes it, so sometimes you take an app and say, Charlie app where any phone where copy, because the application was written for that specific phone and it's in tuned for that specific phone. So how do I get an emulator? How do I get to emulate what I am doing onto my application? How do I do that? Right? Now, to do that, I will go and click on the emulator button. You can see that on the top here, I will see device manager. Where my cursor is going around, over there, one of the tabs there is called device manager. Now, the device manager will open the area that I can use an emulator for my application. So over here, when I click here, I can see the device manager opening for me. Over here for you, you see that this place will be empty. Then you can click on the add button here and create a virtual device. That is technically, I am creating a phone that for all intents and purposes will work like a phone. It will behave like a phone. I just can't touch it, but it will do everything a phone can do. So that when I write an application for the phone, I can use it to test it and use it and have a feel of it. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, when I come back here, I will see that in here, I can choose the phone I like. Because it is Android and because the Pixel device belongs to Google, every device I have here is a Pixel device. But if I want a Samsung or another Android device, I can always go and import hardware and go and pick that hardware and bring it to my, my computer. Now, in here, I will just choose the type of device I want. If I want a Pixel Fold or whatever, I can choose any device I want. I can choose any tab I want. Not, I can choose any wearable I want. I can choose Android TV. Heck, I can even develop an application for an Android automobile. Those of you with cars who you have a screen and you can press and think things, you can develop an application for that. But for our purposes, our concern is for the what? The phone. So any phone you want to use here, just choose it and install it from here. And next, like I choose this phone, I press next, and then it will tell me these are the operating systems that are there for me. I need to install one of the operating systems onto my computer, and then voila, I have one of the phones installed. Obviously, I don't want to do that. And the reason I don't want to do that is because I already have a phone on my computer. You can see my phone here. Look at my phone. It is just like a phone. I can swipe up. I can swipe down. I can go back. So over here, you can see I can go back and it will take me back, right? You can see I have all the things here. I can create my own WhatsApp here. I can create my own, all the apps I can create in here. I can go to Play Store. Heck, I can open a new email. It is a phone. It is a phone. I just can't hold it. I can't walk around it. But I can set up, I can do everything. I can set location. I can make my location in Ghana. I can move it to the US. I can write the application to do anything a phone can do. So that if I want to write an application, I can test it here because I do not have money to go and buy the actual devices and test them one by one. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Now, for some of you, unfortunately, this emulator here, it will not come on your computer because your computer's graphics may not be big enough or may not be strong enough to take them. Let us be honest. For some of you too, you do not have something called virtualization on your computer. If you use an Intel device, it means that you need to have virtualization on. So when you go to your BIOS screen, when you're starting your computer, the blue screen that comes up, in there, in settings there somewhere, there is put on virtualization. So you have to go and put it on before it will come. Now, for some of you, your computer does not have virtualization. For those of you who are unfortunate for that to happen to you, it means that for you, you need to test the applications with your phone. Are we clear on that?
Yes, sir.
So how do I test my application with my phone? Now, all of you here, I am assuming you have um, uh, an Android device. If you do, if you have an Android device, I want you to go to how will I even show this to you? I want you to go to your settings, okay? Go to your settings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in your settings, I want you to look for about phone.
About phone.
Okay? Look for about phone.
Hmm.
Now, when you find about phone, I want you to look for, so about phone will be at the bottom there somewhere. Okay. And when you find the about phone, I want you to look for software information. Now, this is the case in which I'm using a Samsung. To be honest with you, what I'm looking for, or what I'm looking for you to look for, is your phone settings, your model number settings. Wait 1 second, let me show it to you. I'll show it to you. I'll show you what I'm talking about, okay? There is a software I'm supposed to use for casting. I didn't do. You have to forgive me. So we are looking for this. Are we okay? It will come on your screen right now. So we are looking for 1 second, please. Okay. Good. Okay, so we are looking for this. Are we okay? So we are looking for this window here. The window that will show you your build number and version and all of that. We are looking for this. Are we okay? To be honest, we are looking for the build number. So on your computer, on your phone, look for where you can find your build number. Is that okay? Has anybody been able to find their build number?
Build number.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if
Yeah,
you have
build
found
number.
if you have found your build number, tap the build number 5 times.
Enter numeric password. Okay, this is.
So when you press it once and you do it 5 times, it should tell you that you are now a developer, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So read that right now, your phone has been enabled for a developer. Means you can use your phone for testing now. Are we okay? So
Yes, sir.
when
Yes.
you go back into your settings, you should see developer options. Go to your settings now. One of the menus that would be in your settings would be developer options. At the bottom, you see that you now have developer options over there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I want
This
you to
is not
listen to
coming
me
on.
very carefully. Your phone is now for developing and testing, which means that now you have opened your phone up to another level. Do you understand? Now,
Yes.
it is very important to understand that you have opened your phone up to another level, which means that if you don't want to open your phone up to another level, developer options must be turned off.
Okay.
Don't turn on developer options and be plugging your phone into anybody's computer just like that, because that's not good. That is very low. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is not good at all. That one there, don't do that. That one there, I'll highly advise you. From
Doc,
one
please come
brother
again.
to come again, Ben. Up developer options. Go to settings and
Uh-huh.
open developer options.
Okay. Wow.
Now, when you
Okay.
open
Yeah, there.
developer
Wow.
options, you can see that it tells you all the developer option tools in which you would have. Are we okay? So now,
Yeah.
technically, your phone is enabled to do things in which the normal person's phone cannot do. Okay, so that is why the developer options will allow you to use your phone for USB debugging, testing, comparing, moving of files, accepting new software, so on and so forth. Your phone can do that now because you have enabled developer options. Now, developer options being enabled for you doesn't mean that it is a flex. It doesn't mean that every day when you're walking around, then your developer option is on and you're walking around, Charlie, I have developer options. No. When you want to use developer options, then you put developer options on. Because developer options, as much as it opens up your phone, it means your phone is open. If I plug it to someone like my computer, I can use developer options to manipulate your phone or something. Are we clear on that?
Okay.
So developer options must be off if you are not using it.
Okay.
Are we all clear on that?
Yes, Doc.
Okay. Now, we are, or I am going to show you how to, or what to do when you are in developer options. So I'm going to mirror my phone. Are we okay? So I'm going to mirror my phone. Okay. Oh no, I mirrored the wrong thing. I mirrored this one. Let me stop. Let me stop this. And pause this. Collapse.
Yes.
Let me collapse so that that is off. So that I can mirror. 1 second. I want to mirror my phone. Then I'll show you how it would work so that we all be on the same path. Okay. Just give me 1 second. One second. I'll be done right now. If it doesn't work, then we can continue to something. So don't worry. Those of you who are wanting to code, code. The coding here to come, you run away, sir, because I was told that you people are the best coders in the world. So I don't even have to type any code. When I say it, you people type. So I'm so happy. When I heard that, I was so happy. I heard that you people can code Java already. So I don't even have to worry myself with teaching you people Java. You people are already good. Is it true?
Well, this is a serious irony.
Eh? Oh, so the person who told me you people are good at Java is a liar. And the way you are all quiet, it means that you are the only person in the class who has an issue. I thank God for that. Silence means consent. So if the whole class, everybody can code Java, and only one person is complaining, then it's good news. So on the screen here, I have this software here called Scrappy. Scrappy is a Python software which allows you to it's a Python software, karaoke, which allows you to mirror your devices. So if you open up this software, you will see a button here you can click. If your phone is connected correctly, it should mirror your phone to particular device you have on. So as I said, if it doesn't work, we'll just continue. No. But that means I can't show you how the app will open on the phone, but the app can open on the emulator device, so that's fine. Allow USB back. I'll keep this on here. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my phone. Are we okay? You can see this is my phone.
Okay.
If I want to do everything with my phone, you can see. I hope you can see, right?
Yes. So
this is my phone. I can mirror any device I have over here. And you can see I've opened Showmax to show the ball, anything if I want to do. I can do. You can see the ball, everything if I want to. So this is my phone. Are we okay? Now, as I was saying, you would go to settings. When you go to settings, you would go and look for about phone. So you can see I found my about phone. In here, you go and look for software information. That is if you are using Samsung. I don't know how you navigate it, but in here, you see the build number. Then you will tap the build number 5 times. If you do that, they will tell you that your phone is now a developer. So you are now a developer. You can use developer tools and options to write your code. Great. Once you do that, you see that over here, you see developer options. Developer options allow you to be able to do things in which you normally cannot do with your phone, like desktop backup password and any of those hyper things, and moving of files and tracking of files and all of those things you can do, and getting a lot of things here, a lot of hacky things. But for our concern, we are concerned with the thing we have here. That is USB debugging. Are we okay? So I will turn on developer options and turn on USB debugging. Again, let me repeat. If you have no business doing anything with your phone in terms of these things, put off USB debugging. It's very important. You do not want to be hacked, and you do not want your personal information to be taken. Now, when I go to my Android Studio again, right? So I'm back in my Android Studio. I can see that when I come to the top here, I can see the name of my phone here. So you can see that I'm running a Samsung SM G9, whatever. That is the name of my phone. So when I come here, I can see my phone here too. If I click on this button here, it means that I am sending my software to my phone. So we can see that this is my phone. I am sending it there. Over here, the Gradle will build and run my application. What is the Gradle? The Gradle is the compiler for Android Studio. So the Gradle will compile all my software, make sure everything I've done is correct, make sure I have no errors, do all of those things in which it does. And when it is done, doing all of those things that it is done, it will launch the application I have written onto my phone. Are we clear on that? So you can see that here's my phone. Right? And then you can see that it is launching on device. Okay, so it asks me, do I want to install anyway? When I click install anyway, it knows that it has to install. We can see that it has installed, and we can see hello world over here. When I go back over here, I can see that, and I go into my apps, right? I can see that I have my application over here. So you can see my application over here. And this is the application we have over here. I have not given it any logo. I have not done anything. When I tap it, all I have there is what? Hello world. So we can see that over here too, all we have is what? Hello world. So that is how I can bring my app into my phone. In the case where I don't have a phone to bring it into, so I take the phone out, I can send this app into the emulator device I have over here. So you can see that over here, looking for the emulator device, it is starting it, right? Once it is done starting, it will bring it up over there. You can see that the phone on the computer is starting up. And anything I do, it will tell me or show me in the run space that I have an error, I don't have an error, this is how long it takes the app to run, this is how slow it runs, I can start the app, I can do everything in which I need to do. Is there any question on device setup and movement and all of this? Okay, no problem. Today, our main mission of coming here was to do device setup. I'm going to send you a video on how to install the app. I'll send you this video, and I'll send you another video on how to install the app and everything. And then I'll send you a third video. A third video shows you how to build an application that will add two numbers together and run them on the app. I will also send you the Scrappy tool. Now, why am I sending the Scrappy? So that when we meet again here next week, I will call you at random. And this you would learn from me very quickly, that I can call anybody at random, tell you to share your screen and show me the app you built. So you will show me your app, two numbers being added together. If you are using a phone, you saw how I was able to send my phone to my computer using the Scrappy. So you also do that. And then share your phone with the Scrappy and show me how you also built your app to do that. You must be able to install the software. As an IT person, if you do nothing in this world, installation here, that is why today you can see I didn't go into coding, because we always rush into coding and we forget that we have to code in a particular environment. Today, I spent time learning the environment, showing you how we will set it up, how we'll let things move from one screen to the other, how we'll put in the software into one place and do all of that. I showed you that. There is a reason why I showed you that. You can see the hello world over here. When we meet again next week, I'm going to teach you how to drag and drop things in here to build the application, build the interface and so on and so forth. But before then, I will send you a video that does that already. I will come and teach it. Don't worry. For teaching it, I'll teach it. I'll send you the video so that you will know, okay, when you come and I'm doing it, it will not be fresh in your mind. You can see that here I've added a button. And then over here, I can come and add a text view for someone to see something in which he's typing. I can come and click on the text section here and add an edit text for the person to know this is where I want to type at. Like here, I want to add, for example, the person will add a phone number. So I can come and put this one here. So I know that this is the phone number. Then here, the person will type his phone number and password. So over here to it, that the person will know that he has to type a username and a password and so on and so forth. Design the interface. Over here, I can have this interface here. This one will come to the corner here, and so on and so forth. Then I can delete the hello world from this. So this hello world here, delete. So I will show you when we meet next week how to design this interface and then how to make it work. There is also the code side. So remember, everything you see on the interface screen, the code is being written for us. We will learn how to write the code alone, how to do the interface alone, and then how to join the interface to the Java so that both of them will talk together. It is not hard.
Wow.
It is
It's
not
interesting. It's interesting, Doc.
difficult. It is not something in which is beyond you, and it is not something which is difficult to comprehend. But I must say this, it is technical. That means installing of the software and all of those things, you must learn how to do them. There is no negotiation around it. At some point in time in life, there is something you cannot move around. You must face it. So we will face it together. As I said, I will send you the Scrappy software. I will send you this classes video so that you can rewatch this and do the installation. Send you another
Okay.
video that also does the installation, but after the installation, it does a program on how to add two numbers so that before we meet, you would try your hands on doing an application. Just try. Coding is about trying. If you try and fail, no one will catch you. And then when we meet together, I will do it. So you see me doing it and why I do and why I write one line and don't write the other, how I'll put the icon there so that you have the icon on your app so that when you press, you see the icon. Then when we are done, probably we will do a small app that will do like MTN, if you want to do Momo, it is *170 hash. So when you press a button, then *107 hash will come. And then if you want to check your credit, then you can check. If you want to send some text message to someone, you click and then it will send. If you want to call someone, then you can call. An app to do that. Something in which you can give to someone, say, I did the app, check my app out. Something nice like that. We will do that before we finish our course, our short course. Are there any questions?
Yes, please, Doc.
Yes, Eric.
I said, is it advisable we can use other programming languages that you are okay with to write the code?
What other programming language do you want to
Let's say C++ or maybe Python. Is it possible we can use that one to write the code?
First of all, you cannot use Python to write Android.
Okay.
That is number one.
What of C++?
Number two, you can use C++ to write. The next question is, do I advise you to do that? Hell, no. If Java would be hard for you, then C++ would be murder for you. Those who use C++ for Android, they normally use it to build games.
Okay.
And mathematical software because of C++ mathematical nature. So unfortunately, we will not be using C++. We will be using Java. We could have used Kotlin, but that one, if we use it, it means you people would have to know JavaScript, and it's like we are learning a new programming language, in which I don't think that would be advisable for a short class like that. So Java is being used because we have used it. It's easier for us to translate. But for Python, you can't use Python. That one there.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. Are there any more questions?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
And please, sir, I was trying to follow you, but it seems that my interface is different from yours.
Your interface is different from.
Yeah, your interface.
Do you want to share your interface so that I'll see? Or anyway, take us. Did you just download it?
No, sir. It's been a while since I downloaded it.
Then yes, then your interface will be the old one. My own is the new one. So you can you can go into the settings, you see update, then you just update it. Do you understand? Because the new one has new features which are
Yes, sir. And also, okay. And also, with the SDK platforms, I only had one thing appearing there, but you had plenty dropouts.
Do you know why? Let me guess.
No.
Are you doing the Zoom on your phone?
Yes, please.
And then your computer doesn't have internet?
Sorry?
Does your computer have internet at this moment?
No, please.
So the moment you give your computer internet, everything will come.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
That is why I said that for the Android Studio, for the setup, you need internet for your computer. If you don't have internet for your computer, you forget it. The things which are showing here, when you open you see nothing here or even one thing here. But the moment you have internet, everything will come. So you just give even while we are just talking now, you just give your computer some small internet. You see that everything. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'll do it right now. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? Don't worry. I understand the fear of coding. You know, when people say, Charlie, you ever code, yeah. Relax. We drag and drop. No actual code can create now, but relax. Everything will be fine. But as I said, the setup is important. The environment. Make sure you have the environment done. If your emulator will not work, that's fine. If your computer is 4 gig, forget about the emulator. You forget. So the Android phone being a test. Don't go and do emulator if your computer is 4 gig. Now I'm telling you now, because your computer, when you click on it today, it will respond to you maybe in December. So you leave that one. You leave it alone. Yeah. There are some things you leave it alone. If your computer is 4 gig, you try and do the Android Studio and let's take it from there. You leave emulator. But if your computer is 16 gig, 8 gig, 12 gig, then you emulator, you can see that even my computer that is 12 gig, using the emulator and everything, anyway, me, I have a lot of things. But you see how my performance is going through. You 4 gig there, you don't do emulator. Even if your computer can do the emulator, don't do it. Are there any more questions before we leave?
Okay, Prof. Doc, when do we get the videos so that some of us very tight with our work, we will manage and then
do
the
I will send it. I will send it to Dr. Benoit to this evening. So by the time you send it to me, or if your class rep can contact me, I'll send it to you today.
All right, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming this evening. Next week we'll meet at the same time. Are we okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
Innocent.
Yeah. Oh, wait, so hello, Doc. Please share the video when you are done. The network was bad. Okay. So bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Have a wonderful evening.